Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Connect Cape Fear podcast. We've got a great guest with us today, Jonathan Allers. He is the owner and lead technician with In and Out Appliance here in the Cape Fear region. Welcome aboard, man.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah,
nice to meet you guys.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Welcome to the studio. And you're a native of these parts?
I've been called a local now, but I moved out of New York when I was 20 years old, and I've been here for about 20 years now. So
20, excellent.
Yeah.
We were joking before we started to shoot here that Jonathan's accent is just traditional, that New York vibe, which is great.
Yeah, when I'm in New York, I sound like I'm from the South. When I'm in the South, I sound like I'm from the North. So
isn't that funny how that works? Talking to. Yeah. Well, it's good to have you here in the studio, and we've got a lot to go over. I know that you've been doing this for a long time, and I know In and Out Appliance is your passion. Tell us a little, or tell our audience a little bit about In and Out Appliance, and just kind of what you guys do for the community here.
It is a little bit of a tongue roller, huh?
It is tough, man. Especially after 5 cups of coffee.
I've been telling some people, I'm like, I do the same thing, It's like,
but it's easy to remember.
Yeah, exactly.
In and Out Appliance makes complete sense.
You'd be amazed how many people are in and out of things too, so the name's always coming up.
And for fast talkers like us, you just want to blend it all together. You've been doing it a while, though. We were talking earlier. Tell the audience a little bit about how you got into this and what is In and Out Appliance.
Yeah. So we do appliance. We do appliance repair, do maintenance, installs, repair work, obviously, and I've been doing it for 11 years now. I worked for Mr. Appliance for 10 years, and I've been on my own for about 13 months now. And basically just, trying to keep smiles on people's faces, like it's amazing when, how many people I have, friends of mine that their microwave goes out and he's like, man, I just, I never realized how much of my kids' foods I cook in the microwave, and like now it just becomes a little burden, and, I'm here to turn your nightmares into joy.
Well, that's actually a great point, and we do some microwave meals at our house too. Yeah. Now that you put it that way, I'm starting to think through my head, oh man, I guess there is a lot of microwave food.
People respect the washer a lot more once it breaks.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, we've had other guests where they're in people's homes as well. You're probably in their homes during kind of a urgent moment, right? Like some of the breaks that happen that you guys would specialize in fixing would be.
It seems a lot more urgent once it happens.
Right.
Like people don't realize, like when the washer breaks, and it's like, oh man, I gotta go to take time out of my day and go to the laundromat and stay there, or trust the fact that my stuff isn't going to get stolen. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which most of the time I don't think it does. I've only heard like minuscule stories about that. But
so you said you've taken over about 15 months as the owner of In and Out.
Yeah, we started April of last year.
April of last year. So what's it been like so far?
Man, it's been an amazing journey. I've honestly impressed myself. The growth that has happened and has been really amazing. And like I said, I just impressed myself. I can't believe how much it's grown since I've done it. Like now, I've been a year in, and I'm looking to hire a couple people.
Oh, that's excellent.
Just to take some time off of my plate and get that work-life balance going on.
Well, to hear fast growth in Wilmington is always a good story, and with what you do at In and Out Appliance, I'd imagine there's no shortage of market needs. Tell us a little bit about.
Well, the good thing is, like, even the lowest scale of houses, is going to have 6 appliances in their house.
That is crazy.
You got a dishwasher, you got a mic. Well, no, I'm not gonna say dishwasher, but like most people, you got your range, you got your microwave, you got a refrigerator, washer, dryer. Like, and just for the most basic of homes, that's 5 appliances right there.
Do you see any appliance in particular where you're like, this is the heavy hitter here? We're gonna have at least several of these each week. Is there one that sticks out to you?
I do
don't
remember,
name brands, by the way.
I was just saying, I don't want to do that.
But like just the actual appliance
I
itself.
remember, I do have, like, I could give you stories all day, and it's like, I remember one fridge I was working on, and there was a problem, and it took about 8 hours for me to I had 8 hours into it. I did a little guesswork in the beginning, and then I really put my head into it, and then finally figured out what was going on, and then from that day, I'll never forget, I was like, me and my partner that I was working with, I was like, we need to learn this fridge.
Right.
I was like, we're going to be seeing a lot of this. There are going to be a lot of problems with this thing. And I I was right.
It always helps to be right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And now I got a good idea of what goes on when that fridge is breaking down. And a lot of people are scared of those things too. And like, you know, and I try to take on the hard problems. And that's what I appreciate from this job the most.
Well, you've been doing it for 11 years. Like, technology in appliances has probably drastically changed the scene from when you started. Computer tech, all of that stuff. These are all smart devices now.
So, and just I guess one way to put it, from what I heard in the industry. So, as I've been in the business, they've dropped the energy reduction 30%, and then by 2030, they want to drop it another 30% from where we're at already.
So how does?
So that's going to change. So like it's changing, and it's going to evolve even more.
So you're learning as you go. These aren't our parents' appliances.
Oh, I'm a doctor.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's a great way to put it. It's the best
way to put it. I do continuing education. I perform surgery. You know what I mean? And then I make sure that you're going well from that point on.
Do you guys? I probably you've been asked this before. Do you do just fixes? Do you do proactive things for dryers and all that good stuff?
So like there is some maintenance things that I mean I will perform maintenance, but it's tough to tell if a thing's gonna break tomorrow.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? But like there are maintenance things you can do, like your dryer. I always tell people treat it like your car. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if you got something plugged up in your exhaust, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna heat up all the components inside, melt something, whatever, and it's gonna break. As long as that dryer vent is clean and clear and you can exhaust and has good airflow, you know what I mean? That dryer's gonna last you a lot longer. And the components inside won't be as long, and the wear and tear won't be as bad.
So when you go in, I mean, I would imagine, and we were talking prior, customer service is everything in your line of work.
Oh yeah, man, and in this town, I've noticed it's definitely taken on a lot more too. You know what I mean? Like I think things look a lot better when you have a smile on your face.
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you a little bit about how you got into all of this. How did you, and when I say all of this, so you're the lead technician, you're the owner at In and Out Appliance, but you've been doing this line of work for some time.
Yeah.
Was it always a passion of yours? Were you a tinker? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, like as a kid,
coming up into the industry.
So I grew up without my dad. I didn't meet him till I was about 25. So I kind of missed out on the mechanical things when it came to that, but I always knew I had like that mechanical kind of brain, that engineering type of brain. I always liked to work with my hands and work with my brain, and I did mess with things growing up and this and that, but I never had like a routine or there was never like a way of like going about it, steps. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then my sister actually worked for Mr. Appliance, and the boss man needed help, and she gave my name because I was just making pizzas at the time, working restaurant work and doing that sort of busy work type deal. And got into it. He loved the way I work, and offered me a job, and here we are.
That's over a decade of learning your way up through a constantly changing landscape of appliances.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation where you're like, this one surprises me? Like, I don't know what's going on with this thing, but where it took a little bit longer to try to figure it out?
Well, like that one I told you before, that one fridge, like that was definitely like where I knew like, hey, we're going to start seeing these. This is a new production, And then nowadays too, like I do a lot more research on things. So like I can see that it might be a problem. Like, okay, this is what I need to learn. This is what I need to do. And just keep learning it like that way.
Well, Wilmington and southeastern North Carolina in general, it's made up of tight-knit communities, and there's a ton of neighborhoods, clearly. And when someone gets something and likes it, most people in the neighborhood start seeing that and buy. So I'd imagine in the appliance world, or if you're working with a particular developer, it's always going to be the same model of appliance put in. Do you ever see waves? Is there a seasonality?
Man,
where everything starts breaking at once.
Man, I think the funny story is too is like I'll see like the same problem on the same machine 5 times in like 2 or 3 weeks,
right?
And then I'm like, okay, I need to stock this part, and I won't see it for 3 years.
That is,
but yeah, there's common issues, and actually. Before I came here, I was able to do one job, and the lady called me over the phone, and I already knew exactly what was going on just by what she was telling me.
You can diagnose it. That's how good you are now. You've got.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Yeah, I'm here to help you.
I try to stay humble.
But it's true. Like
When I think I know what I'm doing, man, that's when I get bit in the butt.
Well, do you just do residential, or I mean, do you do are there ever commercial needs?
Hey, a refrigerator is a refrigerator. You know, what I mean, it all works the same. You know, I do enjoy the commercial work better, just because it's a little more basic and the components are more right there and more easily accessible.
Okay.
But yeah, I do residential, commercial. I'll do outdoor equipment, and then I'm in a networking group where, you know, I mean, if you have a question, I could always put you in the right direction.
That's perfect. Yeah. We were talking about that a little bit earlier before the show started. You said you have a team that you're building out, or is it still just solo?
Well, I do have a partner that helps me out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Right now he's just there for, like, I'm training him. Like type deal, you know what I mean?
Excellent.
So hopefully he can get off on his own. Or
and there's a reason for that first part of the question is you're an outgoing person.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, well, absolutely. No, we have not met before, but just in our brief talks, I could tell. And, you know, I can say this, that I've had different experiences with residential services where it is nice when someone actually is engaging and willing to talk to you. Training, that's not so easy, though. So as you grow In and Out Appliance, I'm
training myself at the same time.
Right. How do you convey personality and say, listen, a part of our differentiation is we show up with a smile?
I mean, I'll be honest, man. I don't know if you do. I don't know if you can convey that. You know what I mean? I mean, you can convey it. You know what I mean? But is that person going to put it into action?
That's a good.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. I think it's more about picking the person and hoping that you can get that type of personality.
That's a good point.
And at the same time too, like, I'm not trying to change you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, be, like, respectful. You know, I think one time when I was managing a pizza place, you know, I think a good story is we had one guy, he was being real loud in the back, and, you know, that wasn't the problem, but he was, like, cursing and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, you know, like, it's okay, you can be you, but, like, I need you to stop cursing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, understand, like, I got women and children in here, you know what I mean, that are listening to you. Like, you are being loud, but, like, that's okay. I can get away with that part, you know. I mean, I can, you know, talk my way out of that one if you need to.
Hey, you're right. You create the atmosphere.
Plus, it was a New York pizza place, you know what I mean? So it's like, hey,
if it's not loud, there's something wrong.
Right. You want New York pizza, you got to get the New York personality as well. Yeah.
I think it's so cool that you worked in food. Because I did as well. I learned it totally helps. I mean, you learn multitasking. You learn to figure things out on the fly. Like
customer service.
It's like, it really is. It covers the spectrum of, like, what people would say are soft skills, but are so hard to find now.
Yeah.
I think that's just a cool observation. Do you find? Good.
I was saying, and it helps. You know, the good part, the cool part for me is, like, they both go hand in hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, like, sometimes I got to teach people how to cook.
And you're doing different ingredients and different. Yeah,
I had one lady, I love it. It was right after Thanksgiving, and she had the turkey recipe and the stuffing recipe, but the stuffing recipe had, like, how to cook the turkey. And then she called and was like, hey, the stove's messed up, you know, am I right? And I was like, okay. And I temped it, and you know, I was there for 45 minutes temping it, and it was perfect. The thing was 350 on the dot. And I was like, man, like, I don't know what happened, you know? And, like, talking to her a little bit more, like, we realized, like, she was using how to cook the turkey from the stuffing box. And that had it was an hour and a half less of cooking time.
Welcome to Salmonella.
Yeah, right? And it was an hour and a half less of cooking time. And I was like, well, if you went by the turkey recipe, like, you needed to cook it an hour and a half more. No wonder why I was underdone.
The oven's fine. You're just a terrible cook. You saved her family is what you did.
Right.
That's so cool. Yeah, you don't, you know, I'm a layman. I don't have much of a mechanical bone in my body. My son does. He's awesome. My grandfathers were great.
Does he need a job?
That just missed me this generation. But I will tell you, that's a good point. Like, there's probably a lot of human error where it's like, it's actually not the washer. You're
overloading it.
You're overloading it.
Yeah.
That's a great example, because I know that even in our house, we had, you know, way back, we had a lower powered washer, and we couldn't figure out why. Or the dryer wasn't, you know, we thought everything was wrong with it, and it was us. Who knows?
I had one guy, he literally, like, we went to go, like, the clothes were still in there. He was like, oh, it's broken. And I went to go push the clothes down, and you couldn't push the clothes down. It was filled to the top, and I was like, dude, like, even if this was working, like, it wouldn't even move. Like, you're not going to be able to wash the clothes. Like, it depends on it moving, you know?
So you're in homes, you see a lot of things, and you've been doing this a long time. I imagine you got some great stories, some funny ones. But is there one in particular that just stands out where you really, it made you question, what what are people thinking? Really, the human element.
So this one, it wasn't like part of my business or anything like that. But I was working for this one place one time, and they sell used appliances, and they bought the commercial ice machines that do like 3,500 pounds a day. You know what I mean? Like one of the big ones, and those have a bin on it. Well, they took the bin off. They took the refrigeration module off the bin and they hung it over their walk-in freezer.
Oh, man.
And they just had it dumping ice all day. And after 2 weeks, they were like, hey, man, this thing's not working. Well, yeah, you got it making 15,000 pounds of ice cubes a day opposed to like 3,500, and then it gets the rest. You know what I mean?
What was their response? Were they
were like,
shocked?
"Oh, it should work." And that's what a lot of people, that's the thing is I get a lot of people like, "Oh, it should work." Like, no, it needs to, you know what I mean? Like, go ahead and run for 72 hours. Go run a marathon for 72 hours. You know what I mean? Like, I know, what was it? David Goggins, is that his name? That dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all power to him, bro. I know he could do it, but that's not your everyday American. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Far from it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like these machines are the same way. You might get one that could be able to do that, you know what I mean? But as the manufacturer's specifications, like, no, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work like that.
How much of your job is just telling people stuff like that? Like, listen, I mean,
so I'm
really good at what I do, but what you've done to this thing is probably beyond repair.
Well, I think that's part of it too. Is like is being able to educate the customer. And I do say like 50% of my job is fixing the appliance, and 50% of my job is fixing the customer. And nowadays too, it's a lot harder to trust these machines. So it's like you need a lot more education. I went to a training one time, and I think the biggest thing, I thought it was BS because they were talking about like, oh, all they did was preach the use and care guide, read the use and care guide, and I was like. Oh my God, with this, like, why am I here? You know what I mean? And then like the next couple jobs I did after that, I was like, hey, you got to read the use and care guide.
That became your go-to line.
Yeah, it was just amazing how it just like, it just life just came that way to where it was like, oh my God, like this is what you need to do.
Most of it can be found in the owner's manual.
Yeah, and then that's what it was. Like it was like one switch wasn't light, and I was like, hey, you got to push it in for 2 seconds, like it says right here, and then turn the knob, or you know what I mean, and stuff like that.
To that kind of shift a little bit here, what's the day in a life of Jonathan Allers look like? How many appliances? Like, I know it depends on the appliance and the fix, but how many have you served on a really busy day?
I mean, if it's on like just diagnostics, I can usually do about 7 to 8 a day.
Wow.
And like and it all depends. Like if it's high end or commercial, I'm spending a little bit more time on it. And then like you said, depending on the repair, if I'm doing a seal system, like I'll probably be there about 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, and
some people, they can do it a little quicker, but that's me taking my time and actually trying to, if I'm doing that, that's more of like a refrigeration leak, and I'm like trying to do everything I can to find the leak. And
I was asking earlier, and I'm going to come back to it because you got me thinking: is there like a seasonality where after the holidays, we're going to get an uptick in ovens, or we're going to can you plan out this line of work, I guess?
So
that's what I'm asking
November's money season, man.
Is it? Okay, that's what I want to know. Let's get into the good stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, that's most of the time when you're having Thanksgiving and Christmas parties. That's always, I always think that's the, those are my biggest 2 months that I'm preparing for. Like November's coming, and I'm like, I load up on oven igniters for the gas appliances, and I load up on other things, and
so you can have
parts that I know are gonna be ready, and I can get it done. Because those are the days like I'm trying to. I got people calling me, and if I'm a week booked out, you're gonna call somebody else most of the time,
right?
Unless I got like unless there's a good word of mouth, and and you really trust me that I'm that I'll get it done and be able to get it done that day. And then again too, like if you tell me the symptom, give me a model number, most of the time I could look it up and be prepared ahead of time, get it done. But like I think last November I was probably doing about 9 to 10 jobs a day.
Oh my goodness!
And I I kind of love it too. I mean, I'm setting different times for myself nowadays, but like during those months, people are okay with me coming to your house 9 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah, man, because they want to get it done.
I got 50 people coming to my house next week. Like, yeah, please just come check it out, because if you need to get a part, you know what I mean, we get it ordered and get you in and get it fixed by the time people come in.
Is there any, I because we focus on Connect Cape Fear and the region itself, is there anything that makes this market unique? Based on your experience, again.
When you say market, you mean like Wilmington?
Wilmington area, yeah, greater Wilmington area. I'm thinking like salt air, humidity, things like that. Does it have its effect on any appliances differently than?
Well, what I love about Wilmington is you got everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got the high end appliances, you got the low end appliances. There's a lot of restaurants and stuff, so there's a lot of commercial. You got the salt air, and in every region, every place is gonna bring you different things. Like I replaced a lot of water valves. You know what I mean? If I'm doing outdoor equipment, there's a lot of like corrosion just on terminals and connections, just because of the salt air and stuff like that, and being on the beach.
As a locally owned business, you've been here for a long time doing what you do, and now as running a business in the appliance industry, what's one of the things you kind of want to change about people's perspectives? You're a community player here.
Well, I mean, the tough part is like, you're always going to find bad apples everywhere you go, but no matter what business you go to, you're gonna have good people, you got bad people, and basically, hopefully, the good outweighs the bad, right?
Right.
And for me, I think I just want to go out there and put smiles on people's faces, and just let them know that there are good technicians that still want to do work, and people still want to work out there, and not make you go through the hard stresses of having to get a new one, or financial issues, or anything of that nature.
Man, I couldn't have said it better myself. Not that I would know how to, but that's a breath of fresh air from a homeowner to hear someone say that. Yeah. We've all had our moments where you invite someone into your home and it's not aligned, but just in this discussion, you can tell you're quite a bit different from that.
The cool part is like, I love when people like trust me to like be in their house when they're not there.
Right. That's a badge of honor.
Yeah, and I've had it where I had a technician be in my house before, and he stole something of my roommates that was like just came back from her parent who passed away like months before that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So something like that,
terrible.
like it definitely hits me. You know what I mean? So when I'm in somebody's home, I try to make sure that nothing like that ever happens.
It's great stuff, man. Well, Jonathan, we were talking earlier, and you said you had an offer for Connect Cape Fear. Anyone listening to the podcast today, you wanted to put an offer out there just as an appreciation.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anybody listening to this podcast, if you mention the podcast that that you watched it and you saw everything, I'll give $50 off of the dry vent cleaning, which is usually like $150 value.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm taking advantage of it. Do I count? Am I allowed to?
Absolutely,
to
man.
take it? I already got Jonathan's
some of
card
his questions,
when he came
I'm going to have to add $10 more.
Yes.
But I'm just kidding.
That was good. All right, we got our new co-host, guys. That was awesome. Guys, I want to thank everyone for listening to Connect Cape Fear, the podcast. Jonathan, this is a great discussion. I really appreciate it. Jonathan Allers, owner and lead technician with In and Out Appliance. We just really appreciate you coming aboard and telling a bit of your story.
Hey, man, it was a pleasure meeting you, and I appreciate you guys having me.
Perfect. Until next time, everyone, thank you for listening to Connect Cape Fear.